Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about focus and how focusing on one change at a time can really help make a huge difference in the way that you approach things, because sometimes I feel like taking on a change can seem daunting. I was actually speaking with a friend of mine and sorry, I'm so distracted right now. I was speaking to a friend of mine and she was talking to me about some dietary changes that she wants to make. And I kind of explained to her the way that I approached it in the beginning, because the way I approached it was kind of, I had reached a point where I was ready, willing, and able to make any changes necessary and do whatever it takes to get to my goal, because a lot of factors, a lot of things happened towards the end of last year, and it kind of removed every single thing that was distracting me from me facing my problems. And I had to really take a really hard look at my life and what I wanted from it. And I was literally, what felt like, it wasn't like I was forced, but like all signs were leading in the direction like, you need to surrender now to this, because this is something that you want more than anything. It's something you always think about. So why not have it? I don't know why that always happens when I'm on camera. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. So because of all the attempts that I've ever had and all the obstacles that I faced and all the kind of like all the self-sabotage that I've done and not focusing my attention, or, you know, when things got tough, kind of throwing in the towel, and I was like literally almost at the finish line. I could taste the finish line and I gave up. So for all those attempts and all those times, then everything, it came to a point where I surrendered to this lifestyle and I surrendered to any changes that I needed to make. And for me, it happened like that right away. And it wasn't anything else I needed to think about, because I was done. I was done thinking about it. I was done thinking that I couldn't do it. I was done. I said, you know, whatever happens, happens. If I can't do it, or if somehow it doesn't work out for me, I'm still going to do it, and I'm going to give every effort in order to do it. So for those that can't commit, let's say 100%, or can't fathom, let's say, not eating sugar or not eating bread or things like that ever again, I would say start slow. Let's say if you have like 2 slices of bread a day, cut it down to maybe 1. Or if you have dessert every single night, maybe have dessert, you know, slowly have dessert like 6 nights a week or 5 nights a week. And then gradually you'll need it less, because you start training your body and your taste buds back into not having it every single night. And the same goes for anything, because when I started my journey, I still ate chicken, fish, and turkey, you know, all of that stuff. And I gradually like weaned off of it, and that was my own choice. I'm not saying for you to do that. By all means, if you want to eat meat, chicken, fish, any of that, go ahead. I just chose to not do it because of things that I looked into further, and I'm much happier in this lifestyle than any other lifestyle that I've ever had before. And honestly, this method of dieting for me in particular is so easy, is so freeing. I don't have any, you know, hang-ups on counting calories or making sure I'm not going overboard on eating, because it's the most simplistic diet ever, in my opinion. And it's so easy and straightforward that sometimes it's like, is this really it? Is it really just like this? And yes, like in the beginning, you still maybe want those foods that are, you know, you're still not completely off of being addicted to sugar, or, you know, wanting cheese or wanting fried food or fast food or things like that. But like with anything else, it takes a little bit of time, and then your body adjusts to those changes, and then you no longer want fast food, let's say. And honestly, at this point, I don't want anything bad going into my body, because I literally work day and night in order to get my health back. So I'm up very early in the morning. I am making so many strides to try and get my body back to where I need it to be and back within a normal weight. and all my insides and outsides to be normal. And for me, I just don't find it to be worth it for anything like that. It's just not worth it. I've really lived like my whole life being okay with eating kind of whatever I want here and there, or even when I was dieting, like allowing myself to eat something and, saying to myself, oh, a little bit won't hurt. But to me and for me, a little bit does hurt and it doesn't work for me. Some people can incorporate treat meals or cheat meals, whatever you call it, or the bad stuff into their diet and be okay. That's not me. So I know myself and I know that for me, I'm okay if I don't have dessert or whatever, or piece of cake. But for me, like having one spoon of cake is just as bad as having the whole slice of cake, because that's the way I am. That's the way like my reaction, I guess, is. And I would feel that I definitely, and I don't miss cake. That's the thing. I don't miss cake. And my big thing was pizza. I used to really want pizza all the time, or really just love pizza. I don't know. I don't think I know a New Yorker that doesn't love pizza, but it is now I can honestly comfortably say that I'm okay and I don't have cravings for pizza, and I don't have like all these like cravings or wants for different things, because I'm just not there anymore. And it's really amazing how much like you can change by focusing your attention and all your efforts on one thing at a time that you want to change. So the thing is like FOCUS, so focus one course until success. So focus one course until success. So you might have 5 goals, but in order to fully, dedicate yourself to one goal and see it to fruition, focus on that one thing. So I think changes are difficult to make as is, but I've been there before where I want to change everything all at once. Like I want to change, my weight, and I want to do something with my finances, and I have other goals, and I want to do this and that and 100 other things. But it's like, okay, calm down, slow down. You weren't changing anything all this time, and now all of a sudden you want to change everything in one night. That's not the way it works. So instead of like, I heard this funny quote that made me laugh. It was like, don't half-ass 2 things, whole ass one thing. So don't put like your efforts into 2 different things and take your attention completely away from one goal in order to, take care of another goal, and kind of not put your best efforts in either one. It's kind of like, for me personally, I'd rather take this and run with it and, focus my 100% complete attention on this particular goal, since it was one of the most challenging things for me in my whole life, was to not lose weight, but to maintain my weight loss. So for me, it's the number one priority in my life right now. And after that goal is achieved, I will take on a new goal and continue growing from there. But I want to be able to grow into the person that I want to become, with the healthy body and with the healthy mind and with a healthy lifestyle, so that no matter what comes my way, I can continue that and not lose track of that thing that I've worked so hard on. So I feel like everyone's journeys are different, and everyone's goals and what they want are different. And also everyone's approach has to be different, because what works for me might not work for you. But all I can say is, if there's something in your way, or if there's a challenge, like as far as nutrition goes, and you kind of feel weak towards like certain foods, see if there's a food out there that can give you the same satisfaction that that food gives you, without being detrimental to your diet. So, if you're craving sweets, maybe have something like fruit. And I know that comparing like a cookie to a fruit is difficult, but if you start having, let's say, one fruit instead of that extra cookie, eventually in time, the way your taste buds taste sugar will be different, because it's not this high fructose corn syrup and refined sugars and this, that, and the other. It's actual sugar from fruit. And eventually, your body will appreciate that change that you've made. And it's not easy. I will never tell anyone that it's easy. And I will never tell anyone that I wake up every single day and I don't think about the changes that I'm making and I just do it like a robot. I don't do it like a robot yet. I have to physically put effort into it. And there are women of all shapes and sizes that I've seen that work hard at their goals, and they continuously go to the gym, they continuously watch their weight. And you can't look at someone that looks like a bikini model or a bodybuilder and say, oh, well, why is that person at the gym? They don't need to be here. They do need to be there. There's a reason why they look like that, and they look like that because they put continuous effort in all the time, and they watch their diet all the time. And when they have something that's not so good, they're aware of it, and they make sure that the very next day or the very next meal, they're back on track. I actually spoke with another woman, and she was telling me how her friends that are on the smaller side always account for everything that they eat. So if they eat one thing that's bad, the next day they're on track. Or if they want to have a glass of wine, they make sure that their dinner is, less the calories of that glass of wine. So they're accounting for everything. We're just not, someone else is seeing an outside picture and seeing someone maybe eat French fries, but you're not seeing what they're doing the rest of their days and hours and meals. So they're not sitting there eating French fries every single night. They might eat it one night when they're out with friends, or have a glass of wine one night when they're out with friends, but they're most likely not doing that every night. And if they were, their body would eventually show it. So I feel like focus your attention on what you can change. Don't focus on what you can't change. And don't say to yourself, oh, I can't do this, it's difficult, because it is difficult, but the changes that you want to make are worth those difficult things that you have to do. I have a road ahead of me, and I have to work hard every single day. And the changes I make are sometimes, challenging to, let's say, go somewhere with friends and be able to find something that I can eat, because I'm not going to veer off of my diet for anyone. I don't care what event it is. I don't care what thing it is, because if the person understands, then they'll respect my wishes and the changes that I'm making, and they won't force or they won't get upset if I don't eat something, or they won't get upset if I can't find something on the menu that I can eat, because people should be understanding and respectful of other people's progress and actually want to see them progress and not hold them back. So, if you're ever caught in a situation where you feel awkward about your diet, or you're being made to feel bad about the dietary choices you're making, have a little conversation with yourself. Am I doing this for this person? Am I making these changes for this person? Or am I happy with the changes that I've made for me? And am I sticking to it? And you have to stick to it. I really don't care where you go. You have to stick to your choices, and you have to believe in your choices and actually focus on them and get your goal, because you can get to your goal no problem. You just have to wake up every single day with that want, desire, that fire to go out and get it. And some days you might have to light yourself on fire to go get it. Some days you have to literally go search deep within, drag your ass to the gym, drag your ass into the kitchen to eat that healthy thing. And you know what? You will do it, and you will get through it, because it's just one day, and it's just a feeling. We don't wake up every day energized. There might be days you're tired or whatever, but you push through those tired days. You push through those moments where you don't want to do it, because you know that as soon as you do it, you'll feel better. And you know that if you veer off track, or if you eat something that you shouldn't, you'll feel that right away. It's like, why do we continue eating things that are terrible for us, that make us feel horrible the next day? I'm sure you've heard this a million times. People talk about, oh, I had this and that this weekend. It was really bad, and I feel terrible. My body feels horrible. I didn't sleep all night. My stomach hurts, this and that. Why are you doing that to yourself? When you can have great digestion, eat foods that are good for you, have better skin, have better overall health, why not do those things? It seems so simple to me, but then again, I've been on this journey a couple of times, but no other time other than this time did I really, truly dive into nutrition the way that I have this time. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot through the years of doing this and focusing on nutrition, but I've never focused the way that I have on nutrition and kept doing research and going into it further and looking past the standard American diet and looking at all the dietary choices I'm making and everything that I'm putting into my body. Because I focus so hard on that, now I'm able to kind of take a breather from the nutrition aspect of it because I have that down and focus my attention and energy on the physical activity portion of it. So then once physical activity becomes easier, I can focus on toning my body and training with weights, and then on and on and on from there. There's always, every day is an opportunity to learn. Every day is an opportunity to better yourself, to set new goals, to reach a goal and then set another goal and just keep reaching. That's what life is. We're just constantly in the process of moving forward, and we keep reaching and striving to make as many differences as we can make in the world. And hopefully my goal is to leave the world a better place than when to leave this world a better place than when I got here. And I think that by educating people about the effects of obesity and the effects of obesity on the body, the effects of the nutrition, the effects of the different foods that are going into our bodies, and the inactivity that a lot of us have due to, cars and sedentary lifestyles and jobs that require us to sit for hours on end behind a desk, all these factors decrease like our quality of life and decrease our body's ability to function the way it's meant to function. And I feel like with an education in that, people just would have a better quality of life if they really were educated and were really given all the tools that they could possibly have in order to make these changes. I don't think that the United States of America needs to be the most obese country in the world. I mean, shocking. It's not shocking. If you look at the standard American diet and you look at every corner of every town and the fast food industries and all it's mind-boggling that this country, for as many advances as we have made, could be so behind on something as a concept as important as health. And so for me, that's important for me to no longer suffer as a prisoner in my own body because of dietary choices that I've made, but also I don't want to see anyone else suffer, because I know what it's like to be less than what you can be, and also feel so terribly about yourself and hold yourself back from things. Like, I don't want that for anybody. And that's why I feel that I feel so passionate about this, and I feel so relieved and happy and excited all at the same time, because I feel like I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I want everyone to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and everyone to see their lives the way that they want their lives to be, and to never leave those last moments that we're looking back on our lives and leave this world with regrets. That's the worst thing. I feel like regret is probably the worst thing in the world to leave with. So I definitely don't want to regret not focusing on my goals, and I definitely don't want to regret not seeing myself in the best possible health that I can and helping other people. So I choose to live my life and dedicate my life to this cause and to seeing the world as a healthier place. I hope that you focus your attention on one goal at a time, on one habit change at a time, and you slowly gain your strength to make the changes, and you feel so good about the changes that you can't imagine going back to your old ways. I will see you on Friday. Be well, be healthy, make good choices, and subscribe to my channel and share it with anyone that you think needs it or can benefit from it. Love you guys. Bye.